Greetings, my friends, and welcome. Welcome to today's class and today's moment, and thank you for coming to be with me. Even though it's not real time, I feel like it's real time. You're here with me now, so I can feel the energy of that. And I'm grateful that we can make this available. So today, I want to, through our practices, begin to explore and remember that, as the yogis say, wherever our attention goes, prana, or the life force, follows. That's a really important thing to remember in our life. I've most recently been listening to Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a medical doctor, and he's been teaching and practicing for many, many years. And he had traditional medical training. But through his experiments and through his research, he began to recognize that the environment affects our consciousness, right? And that's really important to recognize, and that we actually, the inner environment is not only our outer environment, but it's our inner environment. He says, and he's speaking directly about this because of the virus and the environment of fear that is happening in our culture. So he said a few simple guidance, and I recommend go look him up, Dr. Bruce Lipton. But he said, number one, eat organic, healthy food. Really important, because if we're eating food that is sprayed with chemicals, that's what we're putting in our body, right? And th- I don't really need to say more about that. And number two, he says take advantage of vitamins and supplements because they help support where we might be lacking. And particularly at this time, he spoke of vitamin C, and I know a lot has been spoken about by my practitioners and others about vitamin D, so you can look that up. But this is what I really want to talk about. He said, watch what you are thinking. Worry, negativity, fear. He said fear actually inhibits the immune system. Watch what you're thinking. That really speaks to our practice as yogis of compassionate awareness. Watch what you're thinking. He said, do not focus on the problems that they're throwing at us. So wherever you place your attention, prana follows. So if we focus our attention on the problems, that's what grows, right? He said the consciousness can affect our physiology. We are learning that. We are recognizing that. Our cells are responding to the environment, both inner and outer. He says our biology is either open to be in fear or be in love. We have some choices around that. Fear happens, it's just true. But we can work with that. We can then cultivate the more skillful qualities, the mental and emotional qualities. Consciousness, he said, is creating your life experience. So as I heard that, and this is a medical doctor, it just affirmed to me that our practices of meditation, our practices of healthy living, of yoga, Ayurveda, are all practices to enhance our immune system. Many of you have heard me talk about the Book of Love with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Tutu, and they spoke about creating mental immunity. Mental immunity, or create a healthy immune system, physical, emotional, and mental immunity. I love that. His Holiness said that mental immunity is just learning to avoid the destructive emotions and to develop the positive ones. There is a teaching that says be aware if there are wholesome or unwholesome thoughts in the mind. So number one, about be aware, and if there are wholesome ones, keep them. And if there are wholesome ones, change them. Like there are our practices to change them. Both believe that strongly that spiritual practices were actually the essential ground of their being, that sustaining and supporting them through their lives. And so here we are doing these spiritual practices. And today we're going to, of course, do meditation, and we'll do some pranayama. We'll do some yin practice, and we'll come to standing. I have some space here now. This is actually a little space that we recently created, a little outdoor space. Ace likes to call it Brahmi land, but it is. It's a little place that we carved out of this land, and so I'm sharing it with you. So right now, where you sit, begin to take your seat and come to the edge of your blanket or your cushion and kind of wobble a little bit from side to side. You can feel the sitting bones right down and send them down to this earth. And as you send them down to the earth, feel as you inhale the energy of Mother Earth just kind of flowing up through the roots, right up through your body, as your spine, the invisible spine, rises up to the heavens. As you inhale, draw your shoulders up to your ears, and as you exhale, let them flow down the back. Do that again. Inhaling up and exhale right down the back. And then allow the shoulder blades to come and tuck under the back of the heart as the heart just gently lifts. And then take a few long breaths and feel where you are. Take inventory. Meet yourself. Come as you are. We don't have to change ourselves. We have to just meet ourselves. Come as you are. So, what's so in the physical body, mental, emotional? And then remind yourself that there is a place that you can always connect to and always come home to, the inner sanctuary. So remind yourself that from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in loving awareness, my true home. And it's worth pausing for a moment to feel like open the window a little bit to that place that is already home. And then remind yourself that I vow to take refuge in the path of loving awareness, the road that leads me home. And this reminds us that we're all human. We stumble, we fall, we have a path, we have teachings and practices, as His Holiness and Archbishop remind us, that are so important. And third is that I vow to take refuge in the Sangha, my teachers, my friends, my spiritual family, those who aspire to live awake and free. And pause for a moment to feel all of these wonderful beings. You might see thought of them or pictures of them in your mind. And then I like to take a moment to arouse the awakened heart. The Buddhists speak of this as the bodhicitta. That is really already here, but we arouse it. And we do that by reminding ourselves that from now until all beings are experienced as liberation, I will bring benefit and happiness to all, omitting none. And so that sets my intention for how I want to walk in the world. And today we're honoring the day of Sunday. And Sunday is governed by the sun. Yeah. It's the energy of warmth and integrating. And you can think of and feel the warmth of the sun, the brightness of the sun. The sun shines on everyone. And there's a mantra that goes along with that, and it's Om Sum Suraya Namaha. Om Sum Suraya Namaha. So I'll chant it once, and then we'll chant it together 3 times. Om Sam Suraya Namaha. Together. Om Sam Suraya Namaha. Om Sam Suraya Namaha. Om Sam Suraya Namaha. Allow the mantra to fall away, the outer mantra. And you might still feel the whisper of it in your own mind. And then take your right hand into Vishnu Mudra, closing the fingers down and using your thumb on your right nostril. And to help balance the sun, we do a cooling pranayama, and that's breathing through the left nostril. So let's take about 5 long breaths in and out through the left side. You might even say the mantra as you do this breath. Om Sum Saraya Namaha. Om Sum Saraya Namaha. One more round. Release the right hand and just breathe the same way through both nostrils. You might continue the mantra for a few rounds. As you invite the breath to be full and deep, breathing belly and ribs and chest along with the mantra, and releasing from top to bottom. And do that for a few breaths. At the top of the next breath, pause for a round of the mantra. And then slowly exhale. Let the next outer breath pause. And then do one more round in that way. Inhale to the top, pause for a round of mantra. And then allow the exhale. And then allow your breath to find its natural rhythm. In this way, just be breathed. And notice how you feel. We know that using our breath in this conscious way helps to oxygenate the blood and the organs. Always important, particularly important at this time. And now, as you sit, simply notice the quality of the breath. Some short, some long as they naturally rise and fall away. You might discover that the careful attention to the breath calms the body. And you can even whisper to yourself, as I breathe in, I am calmed. As I breathe out, I am calmed. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And let's sit with those phrases for a few moments. And if the mind wanders away, it's not a problem. We're choosing wherever you place your mind, that's where the energy flows. So when you see the mind wandering or distracted, come back to the breath. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And you might even allow a little smile to come to the face as you breathe out, and notice how you feel as a result of just bringing the corners of your mouth up a little bit. And then let the phrases fall away. And simply sit in that open awareness of all that is. A container as wide as the world. A heart as wide as the world. Open to love. Mm. Mm. And then notice how you feel right now. And if you like, bring your hands to the heart and acknowledge your own tender heart. Mm. Jai Bhagwan and Namaste. Mm. And then gently let the eyes open. Let your body just move a little bit on its own to release from this sitting. And then begin to slide your feet away. So we'll come into our first yin pose. Excuse me. I like to sit at the edge of a little cushion or blanket. Slide your feet away to create a little diamond shape, and then gently tip the pelvis forward. And then gently let the spine round down. Now you might like to have your block nearby to place on your feet or a blanket. But just let the spine gently round. And come to that place that feels appropriate. The edge of sensation that is any more too much, any less not enough. Now remember, when we move into yin practice, they are poses, traditional poses done in non-traditional ways. So the muscles are passive. So now scan around in the body and notice if there's any unnecessary tension. So when we're moving into yin practice, we're moving more into the deep connective tissues, letting the bones hold the body. And so in this rounded spine, we're decompressing the spine. And we stay a while. We stay a while because we're targeting those deep connective tissues that take the steady tensile stretch. And of course, when we stay a while, we get to meet ourselves. It brings the contemplative nature to the practice. And then as you're there, you scan, you relax what you can. And by and by, your body might go a little bit further. Or if it feels too sharp, if it ever is sharp, you just back off a little bit. And we get to watch what you're thinking. Watch the mind. Watch the mind that creates fear or worry. Take a breath and wish yourself well, sweetheart. Just take a breath and relax. You're okay. This is how we cultivate a healthy mental and emotional immune system as well, which then has a direct effect on our physical immune system. You know, when we're worried and feared, that stress response creates a weakened immune system. So we have so much authority, really, over our whole being. Of course, things happen. Not to put blame if someone gets ill, things happen. But we have some say over so much. And we know we feel better when we're more positive, when we can be more loving and kind to ourselves and each other. And those of you now familiar with Ujjayi breath, that little contraction in the back of the throat, just find that breath, the steady, gentle rhythm of the breath. And let it just grow long and silky smooth. And in this way, it gives your mind a place to rest, rather than running off in any worries or fears. And you can even find the rhythm of your breath by counting 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. See where your inhale goes, and then let your exhale match it, or maybe even a count longer. Just another breath or two now. Kind of wiggle yourself in a little bit. And to release, bring your hands to the floor. Gently let your spine rise back up. Bring your hands behind you. Lean back and just stretch out one leg and the other. Let's just let your legs fall out the way they fall. Can sink into the shoulders. Take a moment and just feel that. If the body feels taxed, take your breath and your attention and your love there. You might, after a few moments, feel how the energy begins to flood the body. And then if you would come back up, and let's come on to all fours, onto your hands and knees. Now, if being on your hands and knees for this is an issue, you can do this on your back. From your hands and knees, let your knees spread wide and your feet come towards each other. They may not touch. And then press into your hands and bring your buttocks towards your heels. The pressing is important so that it takes it out of your knees and into your hips. And then you can come down onto your elbows, and again, just the tiniest press there to keep it in your hips. And you can stay here as you bring your hands either to support your forehead or your chin, or use a block. Or you might even spread the elbows, rest one hand on the other, and rest your head on your hands. And again, we always enter the same. We find the place that feels appropriate. We scan to see if there's any unnecessary tension. You know, that's the add-on, right? It's like life. Life happens, and then there's the add-on. I like this, I don't like it. We add extra tension, right? You start pushing away or grasping. Right here in the body, the same way. Are there added tensions that you don't need? Can you take a breath? Can you relax? Can you send yourself a little love? Watch what we're thinking. Remember, wherever we bring our attention grows. We all have obstacles to our joy and our clear seeing. His Holiness and Archbishop spoke about fear and anger and sadness, loneliness, envy. They said one practice for working with obstacles is to just pick an emotion. Like if you're facing an emotion, pick one, or a situation or an experience that's been troubling you, and ask yourself, is this true or useful? Is this true or useful? How do I know for sure? Does this fear or this worry, does it help the situation? Is there a better way of thinking about it or approaching the situation? So it's a willingness to not go down the rabbit hole. Is this true? Is this the best I can do? Maybe I can pause and bless myself. A gratitude for seeing where I may get stuck. May I see clearly. May I feel content, find some ease, or wishing it for another. Or, in the moment of challenge, we could say a prayer. You know, during the days of apartheid, the Archbishop would pray daily for the government officials who were maintaining the oppressive system. He prayed for them to transform their hearts, to transform the racist system that they created. But he also prayed sincerely for their well-being. It helped him to love them rather than hate them, it said, and ultimately made it possible to work with them to help transition the country to democracy. I heard that and I thought, wow, if he could do that, what is possible for me and my little world and for all of us in our worlds? If he could do that. Hmm. So, in these last few moments, whatever there might be that is a challenge, just breathe it in. It's not about getting rid of it, but just feel, breathe in the feeling of it. Might be dark or heavy. And then as you exhale, give it what it needs, a little lightness, a little love. Mm. 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 Just another few moments here. Mm. And to release that, come forward, bring your hands forward, come forward off of your buttocks, lift one knee and then the other, and then bring your buttocks back to your heels or draw your knees into your chest, and then come down into child or simply give yourself a little hug. Hmm. And here, so close to yourself, wishing yourself well. Hmm. Bring breath and love to any part that needs a little bit of attention. And now, as we move into a little more of an active practice, here, even as we move into anything that's active, that can also be made into a meditative experience. So we're just avoiding external distractions. We're not, when we're doing walking meditation or yoga. So the goal is to listen to the wisdom of the spirit that comes through the wisdom of the body. So, if you would come back up onto all fours. I like to, from child, walk my hands away. Stretch the fingers like the rays of the sun and bring the wrist in line with the front of the mat. And then come up onto all fours. From here, draw your shoulders up to your ears as you inhale, and as you exhale, draw them down the back. And again, do that. And now take a breath. And as you exhale, slide the sacrum down and round the spine, tuck in your chin. Pause there for a moment. And as you inhale, lift the sitting bone, drop the belly, then lift the head, draw the shoulders down. And as you exhale, round. And just do a few in and out breaths like that. Letting the spine undulate in and out. And then bring it back to the center. And now begin to grow long from tailbone to crown and find a place to focus on in front of you. And let's do a little bit of a balance. So as you inhale, stretch your right leg behind you and tuck the toes under. You can keep the leg on the ground and stretch your left arm out. And then as you exhale, bring it back down. Now you can do this with the leg touching the ground, or you can lift it now. Left leg, right arm, inhale, reach it. And as you exhale, take it down. And do that in and out through each side. And really elongate, reach from your center. And coordinate with breath. You might like to keep your eyes focused on a little spot to keep your balance. One more time on each side. And then pause there at the center. And just let your body shift any way it might need to for a moment. And then let's just take that a little bit further. So as you inhale, stretching through the left arm and the right leg, inhale. And as you exhale, round the spine, draw the right knee and the left elbow toward each other. It doesn't matter if you touch. And do that a few times. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, hugging it close together. One more time. And then release it down. Again, pause and feel. Let your body respond in any little way. And then come back to the center. Grow long through your center crown and the tailbone. And then elongate through the left arm and left leg and right arm. And as you exhale, hug it together. And then do that 3 to 5 times. Not a hurry. Stay focused. One more time. And bring your hand and knee to the ground. Press it back for a moment and just pause. And then please rise up to sit. And let's just play a little bit this morning. We're going to play a little bit with our pose. So just watch for a moment. I'll give this a little demo. So first we'll come into an extended child, come up into our table, tuck our toes, lift the knees, and press back into your downward dog. I'd like to begin with the knees bent so you can really press from your hands and elongate back. Walk it a little bit. And then I'll ask you to lift one leg up and you press from the earth through your hands, reach through that leg. And then you can bend that knee and lift it and begin to roll the belly open. Hello. And lift and roll it a little bit. And then unwind and lengthen. Bring the foot back down. And then we'll do the other side. Okay. So, get into ready position. Come onto your hands and knees. Press back into child and walk the hands away. Spread the fingers and align your wrists. Draw the shoulder blades on the back. And come up onto all fours. Draw the shoulder blades down and grow long. Feel that luminous core in your center. And then tuck your toes and just pop your knees off the ground. Feel that for a moment, a long, beautiful spine. And then keep your knees bent as you press the heart through. Roll the upper arms out a little bit and grow long as the heart softens to the earth. And then walk one foot down and then the other, one heel down. And then as you press the right heel down, begin now to lift your left leg up. And first just reach out through that leg. You press into the hands and grow long. Then bend that left knee and lift it up. And roll the belly open. You might even look under your armpit. So you lift the knee and the foot moves towards the opposite elbow. And play with a little bit. And then unwind it. Reach the leg out. Bring that foot to the earth. If you like, come forward onto your knees, press back into child and pause for a moment. And feel what you feel. The strength of that, the sustenance, your willingness to be with that. And then let's move on to the other side. So once again, come into extended child. Walk your hands away. Come up into table. And feel that upper arm just rotate a little bit. Shoulders down. And then pop your knees off the ground. Keep your knees slightly bent as you press your heart through and lift the sitting bones back and up. And then just walk the heels once again down towards the earth one at a time. And then as your left heel now comes to the ground, as you inhale, lengthen and stretch that right leg up and back. But really press through the earth. Let it go where it goes. Now, of course, I could have said this. I'm sorry. For anyone who this is an issue, come do this on your hands and knees. There's no problem with that. Just stay from table. And then you bend the knee and press that right foot over towards your left elbow. Roll the belly open. You might even look out through that underarm. But let your breath kind of bring it to life. One more breath. Go into it. And then unwind. Lengthen the foot. Bring it back down. Let the knees come to the earth. Press back. And pause for a moment there. And notice what's happening now. What's the quality in the breath, the quality in the mind? And then please roll yourself back up to sitting. And please come to sit with your legs extended. And then bring your hands out to the side and gently press down and lengthen up. So a nice long spine. Now, I tend to have short hamstrings, so I like to start my forward folds with my knees slightly bent so that I have a nice hinge here in my hips. And for those of us who have really short hamstrings, if we have them straight, sometimes people are caught back here. And then we walk away from our yoga practice with a strained lower back. So right here, just bend your knees enough so that you can get grounded and long. And here there's energy out through the leg. As you inhale, elongate the arms up overhead. And relax the shoulders down. And then once again, inhale, lengthen. In fact, interlace your fingers and stretch them away. And then release the hands. And as you exhale, hinge. Hinge at the hips just a little bit. And then once again, elongate, lengthen. And as you exhale, hinge. Keep the spine nice and long here. Each breath, the body bobs up a little. And as you exhale, it comes in. You might like to spread your arms out so the heart can lead. And bit by bit, you climb into your forward fold. Your hands now can come either onto your legs or on either side of your leg. Or perhaps you're even holding your feet. At some point, the belly and the ribs begin to touch. That's your full forward fold. So the forward fold is a gentle dog tilt. Reaching out of the waist, the front body grow long, and you climb your way in. And then you can begin to just lengthen the heels away a little bit and explore the next edge. So here there is a little engagement. We're not over efforting, but just enough. There's energy through the heels. And then when you meet the edge, you bring your breath and awareness there. You relax what you can. And you feel what's happening here. You're fully aware of what's happening in the body and the mind and the emotions. And you recognize that these are all temporal states, that all of this will come and go. So you watch from that place of compassionate observation. As the body's ready, you ease in a little further, and you might wriggle your way in there. As breath moves, your body might bob out and in a little bit. You might explore a little bit with a gentle twist. Find and climb your way into Paschimottanasana. Meeting yourself fully right where you are with the kindness as a friend. In these last few moments, reach through the legs and through the crown and reach your body long. Grow into this pose. Now to release, bring your hands to the earth on either side of the legs. As you inhale, elongate the spine. And then bring your arms, if you can, align with your ears and imagine holding a beautiful ball of energy, prana. And as you inhale, rise back up. And as you exhale, that energy just flows your arms down, but it flows down and through your being and your body. And you pause to feel the energy that's here. And out of that release, let your body respond with a little compliment or a little movement. Ask your body what's needed right now. And then follow the inner impulse as it calls you home, creating connection to source, to love itself. Movement might even bring you down onto the ground on your back, continuing to flow. And just in this way, ask what's needed right now. And then listen. Listen from that voice of wisdom. And as I spoke of earlier, in these more active practice, really just as in our life, the goal is to listen to the wisdom of the spirit that often comes through the wisdom of the body. So in this next few moments, ask, is there anything else that's needed? And listen deeply to the wisdom of spirit as it comes through the wisdom of this body. And over the next few moments, set an intention, please, for this to come to completion and to find your way down on your mat for final relaxation. So please make sure that you can be comfortable and fully supported. perhaps something under your legs, something to keep you warm, or covering for your eyes. If you're using something under your neck, just a small roll to support the cervical curve. And then once you've let the body splay out, fill out your space. Come as you are to this sacred time. And then take 3 to 5 letting go breaths. So a full breath in. And as you exhale, you might even open your mouth and let a little sigh out. And with each of those exhalations and sighs, invite any tension to dissolve to the sacred ground beneath you. Each inhale, breathing in light and love. And as you exhale, releasing anything that's not needed. And then allow the breath to find its natural rhythm as you rest. As the eyes relax and everything settles down. It's in this time that we remember that everything is okay just as it is, and so are you. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, precious name. When I call on the light of my soul, I am home. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, precious name. When I call on the light of my soul, I am home. As you hear the sound of the first bell, just allow the sound to begin to enter into the field of awareness, inviting and opening through the sense doors. As you begin to hear any other sounds in the room and the sound of my voice. And then as you hear the second bell, just invite a little bit of movement, an organic movement to just stretch and reach. Returning back here now in this precious body. Hmm. Hmm. And invite the body to move as it wishes until you gradually draw your knees into your chest and roll to one side. And pause there for a moment. And appreciate yourself, this blessing that you are. And with the third bell, bring your hands to the earth and press yourself up and come back to sitting. Again, I recommend sitting on the edge of something. Get grounded and long and just pause there. Your hands can rest on your knees, palms up or down or in your lap. You might like to keep the eyes open for a moment and just gaze around at where you are. Take in the life from that open space inside. And then allow the eyes to soften and bring your attention inward to feel the experience of you here and now. And though we are this boundless nature, we recognize ourselves also in this form of body and mind and heart, and we have experience through that. So notice how you feel right now. The gift of the practices. And notice your breath. And for a moment or two, just reminding yourself, breathing in, I calm my body. And breathing out, I smile. Thich Nhat Hanh gave us those phrases. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. And how that can bring us right to the present moment, dwelling in the present moment. And in this present moment, take just a little reflection over our time together. Notice how, as you move through the practices, any highlights or insights that came to you. And then if you would, go in a little deeper to that place that is loving awareness, that is already awake and whole, that is love itself. And from that place, both ask and listen, given all that's happened here, given my life, what is it I need to remember as I step back into the day? And then just listen inwardly. And as a word or phrase bubbles up inside you, repeat it back to your own heart. Affirm it back to your own heart, this wisdom. Hmm. Hmm. And then please take a moment for gratitude. We say, thank you. Thank you for this blessed time, these beautiful teachings, reminding us that we can care for ourselves and build a strong container in body and mind and heart and stay connected to spirit. Mm. Gratitude to all of the teachings and our teachers, all who have helped us on the path. May we now dedicate the merit of our practice and all our virtuous actions to the awakening of all beings everywhere. May all beings everywhere know happiness and the root of happiness. May all beings everywhere be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May this reach out to touch all hearts everywhere, omitting none. Mm. And then feel how those blessings come back to you manyfold. And in closing, if you'd like, join me for our dedicating mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We'll begin with the sound of Om, chant that 3 times, and end with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's begin with the sound of Om. Om. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere know peace and joy and love and light, and may peace prevail. Jai Bhagwan, my dear friends. Blessings to you until we see each other again. Thank you.